The following is a paid program. The content is provided by the advertiser. WSTU, its staff, management, and owners are not responsible for the content. Advisory services offered through Blackridge Asset Management, a registered investment advisor. Securities are offered through Peak Brokerage Services, LLC. Blackridge Asset Management is a separate and independent entity from Peak Brokerage Services, LLC. Member FINRA SIPC. And now, Today with Denny, here's Denny Artachi.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. We have a great show planned today, folks. We've got a full house. We've got Evan 9 in the house, my usual engineer.
Happening? Wait, there we go. Got to turn my mic on.
Did you have me on when I first came on?
Yeah, you're on. Just
okay.
See, because all the mics are on the table, it sounds weird.
Oh, different. Okay.
Because they're all picking you up now.
So Evan is he's happy because he's got one more day before he's going to Disney World, ladies and gentlemen, for the holiday stretch. Yes. Today's topic, first let me introduce my guests and friends. We have Chuck Johnson over here. Chuck, are you on the mic there?
I'm right on the mic this time.
Look
Denny.
at that. He's sounding
masculine.
I'm
all over
today.
It. I am all over it.
We have Delroy Brown, whose mentors Dr. Ben Carlson. That's a big statement, you know.
Wow. Yes, it is. Thank you for having me, Denny.
And of course, partner in laughter and crime, Palm City Charlie in the back there. Charlie?
What's up, boss?
Okay. So, folks, today I'm really excited about this because we're going to talk about cryptocurrencies. These two guys they know so much about it, it's scary. And I got to tell you, people want to know about cryptocurrency. This is not a fad. I'm a full financial planner. My clients ask me about it. I cannot, as a fiduciary, recommend it because obviously it's pretty risky stuff. But, folks, the reason this is important, everyone is they want to know about it. It's not going away. Why is it not going away? Because banks are now custodians for it.
Yes.
They have ETFs for it. I do not think it's a fad that is coming and going, but people say, well, how do I find out about cryptocurrency? So my two guests here are going to tell you about it, but let's first talk about the origins. The origins came about in 2008 and 2009, correct?
Yes, correct.
Because of the crash. And who was the person who invented cryptocurrency?
It's widely known as a gentleman by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto. He actually, with a group of developers, invented or created cryptocurrencies, the blockchain as we know it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Satoshi Nakamoto could be a noun. Okay, could be anything from a man, a woman.
Keep that there, buddy. I want to hear you.
Person, place, animal, or thing.
Okay. Yeah.
But didn't he also he invented this as a thumb up to the central banks? Did he not?
It was a way to decentralize money. Okay, because people were suffering back in 2008.
Take out the middle person, the bank.
Take out the middle person.
Yeah.
You know, it's when you can go and get 6% on your assets, that you can pledge only say 25% of and get 6%. Okay, in this new asset class. That's what we're talking about here, folks. Is a new asset class that is almost fully adopted. You know, you take Fidelity, you take JP Morgan, every big bank on Wall Street, and these people have spent and are continuing to spend hundreds of millions of dollars building out these new trading desks for this new asset class. So that's what we need to stress. It's not a fad, like you say, Denny.
Right. And they actually have exchanges for this.
Absolutely.
I mean, how many exchanges are there that they can buy cryptocurrency?
Oh, there's tens of exchanges out there. I mean, the most popular ones right now, you know, is CoinMarketCap and Binance.
I've seen Coinbase. Isn't that an exchange?
Coinbase, Binance, and a few others out there, but those
Gemini,
are
Kraken.
I think there's
Crypto.com.
There's a total of about 4,000 coins currently.
At least.
Yeah, at least 4,000.
And the way they're doing this is they're not, for lack of other words, printing more coins. They have a limited amount of supply, and this thing trades 24 hours a day.
24/7.
Well, let me just say something. Some coins have a limited supply. There's other coins that have an elastic supply. So depending on whatever's happening, it can go up.
Well, look, I met with a friend of mine who's thinking about joining my company, you know, Artachi Financial Group and my broker dealer, and he told me, this is just unbelievable. He bought Solana, right?
Yes.
At $2.50. He put $2,500 in this in like March, April. And A couple months ago, he took a $28,000 profit.
Yep.
So he sold it at, $178 or $200 in 7 months. So of course he says, "Wow, man, if I could have done 25,000." And people know Bitcoin. That's the biggest, and also
That's the first one.
The other
Ethereum.
one, Ethereum, correct. So, geez, Bitcoin when it started out, it was what, 10, 20 cents?
10 cents.
Trading at 10 cents.
Yeah, 10
Around
cents.
2009, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would say, again, you guys know more than I, but in 2019, it was about 3,500, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now, where is it? Like around 50,000 or so, or
where it's gone up. It took the market took a little dip in the last week or two, but now it's back up in the 48, 49 range.
Yeah, as of this morning.
So, Delroy, you think more millionaires have been made with this cryptocurrency in the last 2 years, right?
Absolutely. More millionaires been made within cryptocurrency in the last 2 years than any other industry, bar none.
I've run into 25 and 30-year-old guys that you meet out in the Caribbean, on a nice island somewhere that are retired with millions of dollars. These are smart guys.
And the reason behind this is when you have one coin, by the name of SHIB going up within 1 year, going up 69 or more million% within one calendar year. I mean, that's unheard of.
69 million%. Yeah. I mean, there are some coins that are trading at 0.0, 7 zeros and then a decimal at it.
Yeah.
So if this thing moves over just a few decimals, people are, what's so funny? I even saw car ads that you could buy the car in Bitcoin. I'm like, Are you kidding me?
Yes.
So, folks, don't go crazy on this. I always say, look, if you can invest what you can afford to lose. So maybe 5% of your holdings, right, that you can put into something like this because it's very volatile. It's not regulated. The simple fact is, even though you can make that much, you can lose it all. There could be some coins that just go to nothing, right?
They're called rug pulls.
Rug pulls, right?
Oh,
yeah, but pull the rug. Charlie's not a big fan because he's like, wait a minute, I can't eat it, touch it, taste it.
I had an uncle that he passed away a long time ago, but as a little kid, all of a sudden, Uncle Bob is working. Come to find out, he bought on margin and lost his shirt.
Margin, yeah, I'm allergic to margin.
Yeah, me too, brother.
For those of you who don't know what margin is, that's when you buy stocks
you don't even
and you borrow the money.
Yeah.
What's that? Oh, you buy stocks and you borrow the money. That dollar is leveraged out to $10.
Yeah.
But if you're wrong and a stock crashes, you owe them more money and you usually lose it all.
Now you're working for the bank.
You can lose money in any asset class.
Well, no, that's true.
I mean, it's a known fact. Now, even in this asset class, it's the reason that more retail investors are not in it is they don't understand it. First of all, you have to understand what a blockchain is. Okay, where these coins.
Well, what is a blockchain?
Well, blockchain is essentially a network, right? It allows me and you to do transaction peer to peer without without the intervention of an intermediary or like a company like Amazon or a bank even, right? So that's what the blockchain does for us.
Now, here's the thing. It's hard to tell people, hey, put some of your retirement holdings into something that you just Google the information about. I think down the road, there's got to be some professionals that it's reasonable to charge a fee to educate the consumer because to just Google, I mean, how do you find out what's the best way to research a coin if you're thinking about buying it?
Right now, as you said, then it's Google, right? You're going to have to Google, figure out about them. You're going to have to do some research.
YouTube University. Website. That's another one.
That's good.
Okay.
Go to their Twitter. They should have one.
What are you looking for? I think you said you want to see if there's bad press because bad press can affect these as well.
Oh yeah, yes? Social sentiment is the primary driver in all cryptocurrency.
I think we should all start though by analyzing it. Okay, like what is this coin's use case? Okay, why does it exist? Who are the founders? Who funded them? And who are those people? We want to study them too.
And how can you find that information out?
Go ahead.
Google.
You're gonna have to check out their website, see what they're about on Twitter, LinkedIn. You have to do.
You can see their white paper. You can see their code, their white paper. You can investigate. All these things, and The more research you put into it, the better, because in any asset class, there's winners and there's losers.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. And the people that do it methodically, the people that have discipline, okay, and put the work into it, then you have a better chance of success.
Yes,
Now,
you
here's
do.
what's interesting. Chuck believes that we're still in the infancy of cryptocurrency. Like you're thinking we're like when Apple and Microsoft started way back when.
That's the big question today is people are saying, oh my gosh, I missed it. Oh
Yeah.
I could have bought Bitcoin at $300 and now it's $50,000.
How do you? That's right. How do you chase
What do you
something
tell
down?
what I tell them is this is that yes, you're not late, you're very early, in fact. Like you did lose out on that,
Yeah.
You did lose out on that 100
Charlie,
million.
you buy that, buddy?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
rolling
yeah,
your
yeah.
eyes
I
back there?
don't.
No. But no, we are like internet 1994 right now. So,
Okay.
so that's the way you should look at this. There's a whole lot more to go now as the ETFs, the direct ETFs evolve, and as the SEC and other
Yeah, sure.
regulatory agencies and IRS, that's a new question too. Is when as this space, this crypto sphere evolves, you're gonna have more opportunities, but the curves are going to be a little flatter.
Yes.
And it's not a bad thing. Regulation's a good thing for this space.
No, it is. Look, it explains the volatility because it's not regulated. Of course, stocks can be manipulated as well. Absolutely. You've got people that they tout it's the greatest thing, and they're secretly selling it on the side. And I always say, you have to watch everything you hear and take it with a grain of salt. Because look, if you think all those people on TV, if they knew exactly where the market was going, that they would tell you? No, they're investing their own money.
Yeah.
So even when you see analysts predicting things, you should do your research. But at the end of the day, so many people are making so much money. I told you about my friend that his 2,500 turned into 28,000 in 7 months.
It's almost like business as usual, that return right there.
Yeah.
If you do
that's
your work.
common. That's very common.
It's hard to believe that.
Yeah.
So, but tell me, there have been coins that have, what did you say? Sweep the rug under?
Yeah, they've been rug
Go ahead.
pulled. And listen, the reason why those coins or people get rug pulled is because they don't do their research. They'll see a coin out there and they're like, "Oh, look, it's cheap. Let me buy it. Let me see what can happen." And
Right.
Not even figuring out who's behind it, what's the utility of it. Is it an actual company? Are they incorporated? Nothing. They just buy these things, and that's dangerous.
It's
when it
just
comes
the
to
same
crypto
dynamics
market.
as buying ETFs on the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ. You have to have discipline, because the big banks, they're going to make money anyway. And like George Carlin,
Well, they're the house in the
like
casinos.
George Carlin said, it's a club and you ain't in it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you two are really bullish on two positions, Shiba and
Saitama.
Saitama.
Now we're not giving
No,
financial
folks,
advice.
we're not
No
telling you to
financial
mortgage
advice,
your
sir.
house. Please
No.
don't. We're not giving you advice. The whole purpose of this is to educate you on cryptocurrencies because it is a hot topic that's not going out there. I'm not going to recommend this to my clients because I'm conservative by nature. I'm a fiduciary. However, people blow money on things that make no sense.
Exactly.
So
Cigars.
maybe you can
Unfortunately
take
true.
some of that 2, 3, 4, maximum 5% if you're an aggressive person
So has
to
the
try and see you can make 100-fold or more.
You look at a lot of the wealth family offices, okay, the people with high net worth, and they have professional managers that manage their family office, which are their investments.
Yeah.
I would say a good majority of them are somehow in this space to some degree.
You see billionaires like Mark Cuban, lots of them they believe in this. And so look, here's the question. Can this be manipulated? And the answer has to be yes.
Of course. Absolutely.
If there's a rich person that has a big block of shares, they can manipulate this just like the old market makers used to do with stocks.
Just like a lot of the big hedge fund managers went to jail.
Yeah, and you know what? They
Yeah.
used to manipulate a cryptocurrency a lot more than they do today. There's a lot more things in what we call crypto economics that that people put in place now in their coins to actually prevent that stuff. So it's not as common as it used to be, but it's still.
You mean
still
in
out
the
there.
early stages, it was manipulated more?
Oh, a lot more.
I mean, when I see the volume, some of these things trade 50 billion shares, or I mean, there aren't that
Yeah.
many coins. How's
Well-
that possible?
Well, there's early stage coins, and they are in the billions. The number of shares that are distributable.
So
Mhm.
with these exchanges, you have liquidity with that much volume. Hey,
Absolutely.
what if a consumer out there listening wants to be invested in a bit, wants to try not Bitcoin, a cryptocurrency?
Yeah.
What is the minimum volume that they should? Hey, don't pick a coin that's less than this.
For
Depends
me,
on the outstanding shares.
yeah, and it also
Right. So it
it
does
also
depend
has
on
a
how
lot
many-
to
Yeah.
do with you as an individual too. Because for me as an individual, I don't buy any coins that have a volume less than 50 million.
So 50 million,
yeah.
you don't buy anything for less than 50 million.
Correct.
That's trading.
Yeah.
Man, and they trade this 24 hours a day, right?
24
24
hours.
You could go to sleep and either be rich or
Oh man! Listen, I've went to bed. And this could be scary for some people. But I went to bed and I'm up like 20-30%, and I wake up and I see that I'm up maybe 15%. But when I look back on the charts, I was down in the night when I was sleeping.
When
maybe
you were
like
sleeping.
50, 60%.
That's why it's hard to sleep
You know?
all night. We're like Evan. We
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
up.
Evan doesn't sleep, that's right.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
get up. Like Evan was saying on the last show, he goes to bed at 11. He gets up at 1, and then he gets up again at 3.
So Evan, this is a good reason for you to blame it on your sleep patterns. It's the crypto.
Yeah, he blames it on his prostate, but that's okay.
He blames it on what?
What? I
Any
don't think you do
comment
that,
there,
Evan.
Mr. Nine? No.
I'm
So-
not touching that with a 10-foot
No,
pole.
no,
I
just-
gotta
So-
ask a
so,
question.
Charlie,
I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead, Charlie.
So, is the government taxing this? I mean,
That's a good question.
yeah.
Yes.
For the first time, they're now asking in your tax returns if you have cryptocurrencies. So again, that's another hint that this is for real and not going
Mhm.
away.
Yeah.
They're going
Mass
to want to
adoption. That's
Yes.
called. Yes.
mass adoption. Okay.
Yes.
But I think most people, the other thing that is appealing about all this, it is a non-correlated item to the market.
Yes.
When we see, first of all, I don't believe inflation is at 6 or 7% like they're saying. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
And the reason why is autos are up 30%, lumber's up 30-40%, coffee's up, everything up. Me and Evan have both had ridiculous offers in our house in the last year.
Oh, me too.
So I
Yeah,
think
likewise.
inflation is a lot higher than 6-7% like they're touting.
Mhm.
So people are looking for other vehicles that are non-correlated to the stock market. The market keeps going higher. Who knows? What's that song? What goes up must come down.
Absolutely.
There you go.
We're up 25% in
Mhm.
the S&P this year.
Mhm.
So people are also interested in this as an alternative.
Mhm.
Folks, I'm not telling you to mortgage your
Mhm.
house or roll your IRA into
Mhm.
this, but if your $2,000 can turn into 50,000,
Yeah.
Yes.
sheesh. And if you
Yeah.
just lose 2,000, that's not going to alter your lifestyle.
Not all trades work out though. It's just the way it is.
Of course, right.
Mhm.
But and that's why I say you should do your work. You should understand this. I mean, for years I was working. I was very busy in the commercial and residential real estate business, and then on top of that heavy load, I was up 40 hours a week, whether it was a weekend or at night, studying this before I even made the first investment.
Well, that's why I'm saying it would make sense that somebody figures out to have people like you
Mhm.
and you charge a consulting fee, because who really is going to take the time to study this?
Our good accounting
Yeah.
friend recommended that we do that.
Yes. Yes,
Um,
Tony. I have a few tax partners that are looking into this because of the upside potential. Right.
Yes.
So it's kind of like, again, put an amount that you can afford to lose, but if you get rewarded, it's like, believe me. Do we have a call, Evan, or no? Okay. You don't have an extended warranty or anything that's on the line for you?
he already bought his.
Did he? Yeah. That doesn't stop him. Now, Charlie, when we first started speaking, Charlie said, I think it's China manipulating this. But Charlie, here's
Oh,
the
man.
deal. China
They don't
wants nothing to do with cryptocurrency because
They're smart.
they can't control it. They cannot.
Another thing that they're facing is a lot of their citizens are actually putting money in it and take it out of China. They don't want that either.
Well, I believe that.
Yeah.
Yes, their
So-
currency is so far down right
Mhm.
now that they can't take any more loss of like say flight capital leaving the country.
Yeah.
So they completely disallow cryptocurrencies.
Well, again, this is why people are interested, because they're concerned about the dollar, they're concerned about inflation, they're concerned
Why would
about
they
the
be?
As
economy.
well, they should be.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're looking at this as an alternative.
And also a hedge against inflation.
Right. But to go about it and just Google, I don't know. It's just
Well, I mean, it's cryptocurrency is a new kid on the block.
Like
You know
a
what I mean?
pipe dream.
It is what it is. And right now, as you said, there is no chartered financial cryptocurrency advisor out there. You know,
maybe we could start the first one, right?
A smart
Yeah.
crypto investor
Mm.
doesn't invest on a whim
yeah.
or a rumor. Okay, you're buying technology is what you're
Yes.
buying, and in order to make a decision on buying that technology, you have to study it.
Mhm.
You
But
have,
it moves so fast. And then you keep
Dizzy.
saying, oh, it's still.
so
it
is
could
the
still
world
go.
though, Denny. I mean, we and Delroy and I have this conversation all the time. I say,
Mhm.
Delroy, we're in an exponential world now. We are
Absolutely.
not in a linear world. Okay, this is not analog anymore. This is digital. That's why they call it digital currency and digital assets.
It's like a
Mhm.
virtual reality.
Like the Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue, red pill. Which
Like-
one do you take?
Like the metaverse. Facebook changed their name to that recently, and it has a lot to do with crypto too. A lot of cryptocurrencies are using their finances that they're getting for trading their currencies to actually create and build metaverses. So, like Chuck's saying, the utility and the technology behind it is very important.
But are people actually buying stuff with the coins? Are they primarily just making their profits and cashing it into dollars?
Yes and no. Right?
Yes and no.
There's some cryptocurrencies out there that you can actually do. You can buy. I think you can buy a Tesla with Bitcoin.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
I
you
told
can.
you. I
Yes,
saw.
you can.
Mhm.
I saw
Yeah.
a Chevy ad
Yeah.
where they said you could buy the cars with Bitcoin.
Correct. And what's happening is, so certain coins you can do that with. I think even Sheep right now you can actually buy tickets for AMC with Sheep.
How about
Right?
buy a house?
Well, some people try to do that, and the sellers are kind of sketchy about that. But
Yeah, but I mean, you could just convert it into dollars.
Yes,
you
you
don't have
can.
to say,
Yes,
"Hey,
you
here's
can.
my coin." You just convert, because you're saying that people are liquid. They can
Yes.
cash it in, and
Mhm.
when you sell, when do you have access to the funds?
Anywhere from immediately to 5 days.
Now, what
depending
determines
on the
that?
exchange?
What determines whether you get it today or 5 days from now?
I would say what the exchange is.
yeah, their
You know,
rules,
I have
policies.
I was using a slow exchange this week
Ah.
called Gemini, and they say, okay, 4 to 5 days.
So, what are they
And-
doing with your money in that 4 or 5
Yeah.
days?
Well, I would guess they're making money
Floated.
with it.
Absolutely.
I had to guess.
Just like the banks. That's why cryptocurrency.
but how do you
wants
know it's not
decentralization.
Vinny Boombots and Associates Exchange, and all of a sudden,
Well, that's
hey,
why you have to go
hey,
with a
Chuck
good
and Delroy,
Well,
I know I got your money, but don't worry, I'm going to pay you.
Yeah.
All right, just
Everything's
not
good.
now.
Everything's
Yeah.
good. Calm down. Don't worry
But-
about it.
but
Hey,
the
don't
thing
worry
is,
about it.
Coinbase is a publicly traded company. So
Okay.
that's who I primarily use to do all my crypto trading.
But Coinbase is limited. There's many coins that are not available on
Correct.
Coinbase,
But
right?
you can also use what's called a wallet, and you can use another technology called Uniswap in their wallet to buy whatever tokens you want to buy. So you're not limited in the sense of what you can own, buy, and trade with Coinbase, but you do have that security that, hey, listen, they're a US-based company. They have to follow regulations, and they're publicly traded.
So, Chuck, why did you use Gemini instead of Coinbase?
Because the Vanderboss brothers.
Who the heck are the
Call them
Vanderbilt
out.
brothers?
Okay, they were they were theoretically the idea that Facebook, okay, and Zuckerberg. That's another story which I don't want to get into. But they settled with Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook on claiming it was their idea.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Okay,
So
I
they took
remember
their
that.
money and they came up
So,
with.
so they took their money. It was a very small amount of money, relatively speaking. I don't know.
Okay.
It was in the I don't know, tens of millions, but it was
Yeah,
still
small amount. Chump
What
change.
did they do? They took that and bought Bitcoin.
Mhm.
Okay, almost the whole amount of money, and bought Bitcoin way back.
Ugh.
Okay, so
Jeez.
now that's you would
Yeah,
say
yeah.
that's risky, because I mean at that
Well, they
time
invented it.
Well,
Mhm.
you know, I like
so
these
they
guys.
so they came up with the exchange. So
Yeah,
you
They,
could
they,
buy.
came, they came up with the Gemini Exchange.
Gemini Exchange,
Absolutely.
So
And it's known as one of the safest. You know, you know, I was
Now-
a beginner and I felt safe at
Mhm.
Gemini.
now,
That's
Chuck, this is
very
interesting.
good.
You think Bitcoin is still going to go more than 100,000?
Absolutely.
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 Why? Why do you think it's? I mean, it's at 50 something
Well,
thousand now.
there's a limited
Mhm.
amount of Bitcoin, and that's 21 million.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, and they're gonna do a direct ETF with Bitcoin. That's what they're really
Mhm.
working on.
Now that's a
So-
good question. Currently, they have ETFs, but they're not direct ETFs,
No,
right? They're not.
indirect.
You're not
It's
actually
third
owning.
party. It's secondary.
Okay, so they kind of probably like an index annuity. It
We're-
mirrors.
We're talking
whether it
about
goes up.
NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's directly listed.
Yeah.
Okay. So now when that happens,
It'll take off at that point.
it
Mhm.
will take off and you can go buy $5 worth of Bitcoin today.
Yes.
It's not like you have to buy a Bitcoin because then that's
Mm-hmm.
you're looking at it in the physical sense of a coin.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
There's very small amounts of Bitcoin. You can go all the way down to a.
Oh, look at this. Tony
Satoshi.
Sama's is trying to call here.
Tony Sama.
Tony, we're on the air with Chuck Johnson and Delroy Brown talking about cryptocurrencies. You want to say hi to them?
Tony.
So now
Wow.
Tony has a great tax practice, and he himself is telling people about cryptocurrencies that they should consider it.
Absolutely.
So Tony, you are actually on the air, so watch what you say because it'll live in infamy on the internet.
Ooh.
When have I ever done that?
What? Watch what you said. Never.
Live with it.
Is there a quick question before I let you go? Because these guys are knee deep. They're burning some brain cells today.
Not really. I mean, it's crypto. It's down right now, and I look at it as a buying opportunity. That next year I expect it to, do better than it did this year. So we'll see what happens. But my advice to anybody is don't go ahead and invest all your eggs in that basket. But I would absolutely take about 10% of your, whatever your asset values are, and maybe play a little bit with it, and just do it right. Make sure that you're with a good.
Now, Tony, it's interesting. Now that I have you on the phone, right now they're asking when you do your tax returns whether you have cryptocurrencies, right? So are they currently taxing it or not as of yet?
Yeah, any gain as an American citizen, you have to declare. Now, are they actually, producing these, these actual, statements and 1099s and things like that would, show you the actual value in the sale, like a 1099B that you receive from, your investment companies that you invest your money with and the brokers. They're not doing that currently. Now some are, but the overall format of it now is that they don't have to do it. The U.S. Congress is trying to get a hold of this, and the IRS, but it doesn't preclude you if you just were to sell cryptocurrencies and make a gain, that you don't have to declare that gain on your taxes.
So right now it's the honor system because there's no way of tracking it because there are no
exactly.
1099s.
Oh, exactly. I mean, I've had clients sell their cryptocurrencies and make nice gains, and we declare it and we offset it by losses, depending upon what it is. And one of the ways to maybe kind of, if you're into big time crypto trading, is set up a corporation, that you do all of your trading through a corporation.
Now, what's the advantage? Because this way you can defer the taxes, correct?
Well, it's not only that, but your corporation can be in business, and all of a sudden it can take in deductions for running your business. Like mileage on your car, your home office expenses, your office expenses, your telephone.
I lost 30,000 in Bitcoin. Forget it. I need to write it off. Something like that.
There
right?
is some software out there that makes it easy to calculate your cryptocurrency gains or losses, and I would recommend that. Tony, I'll send you a link on that.
Okay.
And yeah, and I'll also send you
Sure.
yeah, and Denny a link on what's taxable, what's not, how the taxes are determined, whether it's ordinary income or capital gains. You know, and the same.
Yeah.
It kind of follows what ETF earnings are.
Yeah.
You know,
How long
so,
you hold
yeah.
it for?
Well, Tony, I'm going to call you after the show. Thanks for calling in. Any parting shots before I let you go?
No. I mean, just, crypto is a real market, and it's going to be further defined, as Chuck, I'm sure, has informed everybody as it moves on. It's going to, the adoption part of it is really going to a lot of areas, and the more that gets adopted, the more real it becomes.
Awesome.
So that's all.
I will call you later, my friend. Tony Salmon, ladies and gentlemen, a great partner. He is with TMI and Associates. I haven't taken a break because this has been so interesting to me. We're going to take a break now and come back and talk more about cryptocurrencies. Thank you. All right, we are back, and folks, I keep forgetting to promote. Just remember that I have a podcast now, our Tachi Financial Group. We are on iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and Pandora. We're getting ready to be on Apple. Have a website, artachifinancialgroup.com. I have a Facebook page. I'm on LinkedIn. So please, by all means, tune in, subscribe to the channel. The office line is 561-537-5897. We're here speaking with some great guests about cryptocurrencies. And guys, on the break, we were talking, define what adoption is with this, because that's what we've used that term, but this is literally available in an ATM.
Yes.
Coins available in an ATM.
Widely used, the ATMs. Yes.
Okay.
They're here right in the United States, but
Yeah.
but a lot more of them are in Europe.
Okay. So, and quite frankly, adoption means you can buy many things with these coins.
Absolutely.
It's-
More and more every single day.
And you don't have to convert it into dollars.
You don't
That's
have
correct.
to. And that's why utility is important with these coins. You don't just go buy coins that have no utility. You have to buy ones with utility so you can actually use
What do you
them in
mean
your
by
life.
utility? Like,
Ability to buy a physical, tangible good.
okay. Well, how do you
tokens,
know?
see, tokens and coins, coins are more scaled to pay for things. Tokens is like a
Token
is an
gesture.
ownership.
Mm.
Okay.
In something. But that's why there's Bitcoin and then there's Bitcoin Cash. Okay. You go to buy something with Bitcoin, as Delroy and I, talk about a lot, the Bitcoin's an older is an older technology. So it takes when we trade Bitcoin back and forth to say, for instance, redirect our capital into another coin. Okay. It's going to take up to an hour for the exchange to make that transaction. Okay. Whereas in Ethereum, especially with the new Ethereum coming out, that's much quicker than it is now. It can happen almost instantaneously.
And let me add a little bit to what Chuck was saying there. Tokens and coins are different, right? Coins are referred to as stable coins, and a token can be underneath that. So you have several tokens under Bitcoin, several tokens under Ethereum, but certain tokens do give you the ability as well to buy tangible goods, like SHIB. You can actually buy AMC tickets with. So,
well, I think most people they will invest this just to make the profits, not to actually
Yes,
buy goods
correct.
with it.
Yes.
I mean, think about it. The only time that they will have to or want to do that is if the dollar just crashes, which a lot of people are feeling that it could happen because they're printing so much money.
It's
Now, I'm not a
unhealthy.
conspiracy theorist. The world's been coming to an end for thousands of years. It hasn't happened yet.
I'm
Yes.
waiting for that ice age.
You are right, Charlie.
It was in the 70s. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm waiting for it.
Right, either that or you get some land up in a mountain somewhere, right? Where
Yeah, buy land, be a man.
Well, they used to say that or they still say that, the sea levels are rising.
Right.
Well, what about the time when Florida didn't exist? It was underwater. What about that?
I'm not that old. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
don't
I
remember
am.
that either. I don't remember that part either.
Are you older than me, Chuck?
I'm
Of course,
waiting for
I'm older
Martha's
than
Vineyard.
everybody.
You are?
I never meet anybody younger.
Well, no, Charlie's older than all of us. Charlie's a decorated Vietnam veteran,
Well,
and
Yes.
he's chewed some amazing mud through the years.
yes, I have.
And
Charlie's only 50, but he's had a hard life. No.
Wow. I remember 50.
Do you really?
Vaguely. It was there.
Well, Charlie's been married 3 times. Third time's a charm.
Wow.
It is,
Same with Evan.
thank
Evan got it
the
right
Lord.
after a couple of failures.
Wow.
But in Bitcoin, you don't want to fail. Or I keep saying Bitcoin, cryptocurrency.
Yes, crypto.
Bitcoin is just one thing. Now, talk about your two. You have 2 predictions that you really like because their technology is better than Ethereum and Bitcoin, right?
Yes. I'm gonna
Talk
have
about
Delroy talk about this
Okay.
one because he is the master.
By the way, Delroy is what are you, an engineer by trade?
Software engineer by trade.
A software engineer. That's that's not just a hat rack you have up there, huh?
No.
Is geez. So talk about
Mhm.
why these 2 picks that you have,
Sure.
what the future holds to it, and what they're trading at currently.
Sure. I think the first one I'm going to talk about is Saitama, and that's currently trading at 7 zeros and a 3.
7 zeros and a 3. So
Yeah.
you're like that's
Yeah.
vapor.
Exactly.
7 zeros and a 3. What is that?
We're invested. We're invested to
Yeah.
knock off zeros.
Yes.
Every
Okay,
time,
apparently,
every time
yes.
you get rid of a zero
That's-
or even
that's not
2,
even-
you can go through 2 zeros.
That's
very
like
quickly.
vapor. I
Yeah.
mean, 7 zeros and a 3.
Yes.
Okay.
As
I
of
got
this
a
morning.
pocket full of miracles.
And how many shares does it trade?
It's I think currently, I mean, they trade in the billions.
Billions of dollars, and this is in vapor out in the wind. Okay,
Mhm.
so talk about it and why you
Yeah.
think it's amazing. And
The reason why I think Saitama is amazing is the fact that their plans, what they have planned. They're trying to get involved into healthcare. They have partnerships in that already. I think they might have 1 or 2 government contracts. Their software that they're releasing is called SataMask, which will allow you to actually trade cryptocurrencies and stake them. Meaning, if you stake your cryptocurrencies with them, you can earn up to 11% on reflections in terms of getting more tokens. So those things are really exciting in the marketplace in terms of crypto, because when cryptocurrencies was first founded and started, not a lot of sophisticated businessmen and women got involved in the market. And now you're starting to see that happening. And a lot of tokens are coming out with utility. And that's the key that you need to look for, token with utility. So this is exciting.
I mean, you could literally come up with a coin about anything, right?
Correct. And they have.
Pretty much.
They have. And I mean, that's the name of it, right?
Charlie's laughing. Is like, hey, I've got this great idea. Hold on.
Yeah, right. You know
I'm
what?
going to make a coin out of smoke.
We're gonna make a coin out of like space, man. You
Well,
know?
the Dogecoin, the
let's-
Dogecoin was a joke.
Yeah,
And Dogecoin-
They made it to be a joke.
And it had a great run, did it
Yeah,
not?
it
Very
still
good
has
run.
a great run. Yeah, I mean,
What is Dogecoin at now?
market cap, I think over 20 billion.
So the other one is it Shiba?
Yeah, Shiba.
Okay.
And that was coined as the Dogecoin killer. Right?
Because their technology is newer.
No, their technology is not newer. It's just a meme.
It's just.
It was also a meme. They're now having utility where you can use it to do
I
things.
think you told
But
me.
it was totally a meme that went viral, that took off. And you know what's crazy? This year they went up in excess of tens of millions of dollars. 60 odd million.
Sheep?
Sheep.
And what is it trading at?
Right now, Sheep is trading at, I think, 4 zeros and a
Was
3 or 4.
Was
I'm
it
not
at
sure.
7 zeros?
Oh, it was north of that. Sorry,
You told me that it's kind of like what Facebook did to MySpace.
Yes.
The technology is just
Exactly.
that much better.
Right.
Yes.
And I had to laugh showing you my age. I remember MySpace when we were like, wow, this is
So cool,
Yes.
right?
I
And then
remember
Facebook.
Sheba, Queen of the Jungle.
Or Shiba Inu, the dog. I think it's based on the dog.
Yeah, isn't dog food named Shiba or cat food? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So this platform,
Mhm.
in your opinion, is gonna. And then there's my buddy who bought that. What was it?
Solana.
Solana,
Mhm.
which you still think is a play. So he bought this at
Absolutely.
no. You know, I've got to tell you, I'm spooked at something that's got 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros.
Mhm.
So he bought something at $2
Mhm.
and got out under 200 in like 7 months.
Yeah.
But these are fast movers. They have
Yeah, no
technology.
kidding.
They're
Yeah,
using
yeah.
the latest technology, and you
Mhm.
know, technology has a way of leapfrogging.
Mhm.
Okay, to where you know, you're compelled to take a store of value, say Bitcoin. You know,
Mhm.
the king.
Yeah,
okay?
Bitcoin is the king. Absolutely.
Yeah,
right.
Okay,
It's the bellwether
say, you know,
of-
I love
Mhm.
it, but it's going slow.
Yes.
You know, and I traded.
So a
some
lot of
recently. Yeah.
that's probably why Bitcoin hasn't continued, because you have these other movers that are much faster
Mhm.
and have such a big upside.
But Bitcoin
Now Ethereum, you think
different.
Ethereum is about what, 4,000 now or so, and it was
Yeah.
at like 600 a year ago,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
That's a serious move.
Talk about a serious coin,
Yeah.
Luna.
Yes.
Luna
Luna's-
Your
Went
friend
from-
told you about Luna.
went from 4 cents. Now it's $37.
Yes.
Okay, and
How-
before
how long did
before
it
it
go
got to
for?
4 cents, it was south of you know, had all those zeros.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah. Had all those.
so
Luna-
Luna went from 4 cents to 37 in how
yeah.
quick of a time?
in the last year.
In 1 year, went from 4 cents to
And
$37.
I have some partners. I have some partners
Sheesh.
in Europe.
And they're
Okay?
rich.
These are very smart guys. These guys are brilliant geniuses.
Mhm.
One of them in particular, and they told me that a year ago to buy Luna. What was I thinking?
You could have had a
Mm.
V8,
You
buddy.
could have been
Yeah,
a
yeah,
contender.
You wouldn't be here. I'll tell you
Yes, I
that.
would. Yes, I would.
You would?
Yes,
You
I
could
would.
own the studio.
Look at Chuck. You know, one thing I love is that, and Evan is just saying, we're all men of faith. We love
Amen.
and believe in
Absolutely.
God and Christ,
Yes, we
and,
do.
and first and foremost, that's really what matters in this life. Not
Mhm.
not to be as rich as you can or stepping on people. And you know, I wanted to do this show as a service to people who really wanted to know a little bit more about this cryptocurrency stuff.
Mhm.
And Chuck, you still say it's in the infancy.
Absolutely. Can I
There's
say
so
something
much
real quick?
further to go.
If you look at the entire market value or market value of
Yeah.
crypto, right?
What is it at?
It's at 2.8
2.8
2.8
trillion.
trillion.
Trillion. Okay.
You know,
Now,
but,
now
but-
most of that
but
got
if-
here
if-
recently.
if you look at the top trading stock right now in terms of
Apple
their
would be one of them.
yeah 2.9 trillion.
Okay.
So the entirety of the cryptocurrency market is less than the top number one stock right now. So as Chuck's saying, the upside is there and it's great.
And
It's going to go
because of
10x.
that.
It's going to
Yeah.
go 10x within the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
I'd be really curious as to how many people, okay,
Mhm.
not how many shares, how
Mhm.
many people of the, what do we have now, 5 billion living in the planet,
Mhm.
are actually trading these currencies.
The
Because
good news is this. Here's a great do-gooder story about crypto. And the money that I make in my life, the greatest thing that I enjoy doing is giving, and I do it in a third world country.
Yes, I know that about you.
Take care of that, and it brings me the more joy than you can imagine. But here's another good thing about crypto: it can bank the unbanked. People don't realize it. I mean, in first worlds, how many people on this planet are unbanked? That is, they have no way to get credit. There's just no way to get it. There's new ways of being legit and that of having credit, reputational. Okay, there's new devised ways to bank the unbanked. Okay, there's new platforms that are out there. Some of them involve certain variations in crowdfunding. Where you can have a reputation. You can have a reputation, and if that follows you, that you can.
But if they're unbanked, they're certainly not going to be trading cryptocurrencies.
All they need is a cell phone.
A cell phone. Yeah. It's funny how technology is. I always laugh when I see a guy riding a bicycle because that's his only mode of transportation, but he has an up-to-date iPhone that he's riding around.
There's nothing wrong with driving a bicycle.
I have
It's
a
better for you than
broken
driving a
Android.
car.
Yeah.
It's okay for exercise, but I'm sorry. It probably cuts in on your dating life. Hey, I've got this Schwinn. You got to see what I got.
The latest model.
The latest model. Elon Musk Schwinn over here.
Got 2 seats.
Well, I don't plan on
One for
selling.
you,
Charlie,
your car.
have you ever picked up a girl riding a bike?
No. I mean, you'd
Have
have
you
to have
ever
a
picked up a girl
two-seater.
that she was riding the bike, Charlie?
No, that he was riding the bike.
Put the bike in the back.
You think if you had a 2-seater, Charlie, that's what?
Two-seater is the way to go.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to have a two-seater. Or
Do you have a
if you're-
2-seater with you and your wife?
Well, if you have those little, a boy's bike, you could
Okay.
put the person up on the bar there.
So Charlie, honestly, you're looking at all this and you're scratching your head going, yeah, I don't know about
it
this.
blows
Right?
my mind. It honestly does. But Chuck's impressive.
These two
And-
guys really know their
and
stuff.
His buddy knows his stuff.
It's
Whatever Chuck doesn't know, Delroy.
Delroy knows a lot
Delroy.
of stuff I don't know.
That's right.
I mean,
Yeah,
Delroy.
likewise.
Delroy's
is
pretty
brilliant.
cerebral. He's,
Yeah, very.
he's got it going on. He's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
just.
Well, thank you guys.
He's what I call the voice of reason.
Oh, 5 minutes. 5
Oh, that's
seconds.
scary and dangerous. Do you actually listen to him, John?
Oh yes.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Delroy, you're in hallowed ground.
Hey,
Well,
man.
Delroy, can I say it, Delroy?
Sure, go for it,
Delroy
bro.
has a project, and we can't announce it quite yet.
Yeah.
But it's not little; it's huge. And
Okay.
I'm honored that I was asked to be involved a little bit in it.
I really just wish someone should invent. I can't do it because I'm a fiduciary. I belong to FINRA and all the stuff. But I really wish that somebody would figure out either having an academy to train people or having a consultative practice to say, look, here's the deal. I'm not going to make commissions off you, but I am going to charge you a fee to educate you so that you can do this yourself, so that you can research, like you say, find out their platform, find out their business plan, see who's involved in the board of directors,
Yes.
look at the social media platform, because the last thing you want is something that's overhyped that all of a sudden your hard-earned dollars go to zero. And I think that's the biggest fear with this because it's so new.
Yeah.
One of the biggest barometers is sentiment. And Delroy's big on that.
Yeah.
And the reason it's so important is because they're almost like the canary in the mine. Okay, because they whether it's good or bad, you're going to hear about it. You're going to hear about it big.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is not going away.
No, absolutely.
It's only, even me, not even a layman, knows that it's just going to continue to grow.
Absolutely.
And people are going to continue getting involved with it.
It is a new asset class.
Because anytime people can make money, two things that motivate people, fear and greed.
It's like the automobile or internet. Look at it that way. Okay, we're getting down to just a few more
3 minutes before he gets the hook,
Right.
and takes me off of my game here. But yes, it is similar to that you're saying.
Yes, it's changing the world, and a guy that's really an evangelist about it that I go by told me a long time ago. He said the blockchain is going to save this planet.
Yeah.
Okay. Because of the
Well, listen, there's a lot of big players like banks and
Hedge
countries
funds.
with hedge funds that are saying, "Oh no, you're not. We're going to stop that unless they themselves put out the platforms, get involved, tax it, and regulate it."
which they're doing
And
that,
then
but
when
at the
they
same
do
time,
that-
it's decentralized, Denny. You
Yes.
can't stop. Decentralization puts the power back in the hands of the people. Okay.
Well, it's like Delroy said. Why should he have a middle person to negotiate with me? That's the whole purpose of
Yes,
it, right?
that's the whole purpose behind blockchain.
And it was
Take out the middleman.
invented. Geez.
It's not just cost of goods. It's not just cost of goods and services, though. It goes into what they take it way beyond that. Okay, the centralized structures, whether it's a bank, whether it's a social media, whether it's, okay, they're not your friends. They just aren't. They don't care about your privacy with your data and information. Okay, they do all kinds of manipulation.
So this is the other thing too. Exactly right. You could have people you don't know that are paying that are not getting taxed.
Yeah.
There's no that's the other part that's kind of weird. You don't know who you're exchanging with out there, right?
There's ways to know if you go through these great exchanges. Okay, the good ones. That's why you have to be smart. You have to be safe. You have to do your work. And you're right about that. About a some sort of a class or something that we can put on.
Yeah,
we can go. Hey, we're going to give it to you A to Z.
Right.
You want your master's? Or you want your doctor? You know, I mean, yeah.
Because I think ultimately that's what has to happen so that people could know what to look for, know what the danger signs are. I know when they ask me about I don't deal in penny stocks or other things. I always say, do your homework, do your research, find out the up and the downside.
Correct.
And own it.
Yes.
And own it. So I've enjoyed this. I hope all the listeners out there, you can find us again. We have the podcast, our Tachi Financial Group. And also we're on Facebook, LinkedIn. We're on iHeart, Amazon, Pandora, soon to be Apple. I hope I think they're waiting 2 weeks before they clear me and stuff like that. But I've enjoyed this. I hope you have all enjoyed this. Thanks, guys.
We're going
to have another podcast that we're going to do this.
Merry Christmas, God
Evan
bless.
9, may Minnie kiss you when you're up in Disney World. And Charlie, stop driving those women crazy back there. Okay.
I tell you what, man, it's tough. Somebody's got to do it.
Have a great week, everybody.
Adios.
Thank you.
God bless.
The preceding was a paid program. The content is provided by the advertiser. WSTU, its staff, management, and owners are not responsible for the content. Advisory services offered through Blackridge Asset Management, a registered investment advisor. Securities are offered through Peak Brokerage Services, LLC. Blackridge Asset Management is a separate and independent entity from Peak Brokerage Services, LLC. Member, FINRA, SIPC.